Hi everyone, it's Chris and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much indeed for joining me today. Now, I'm going to share my 40 favourite 70s British rock albums today, and I've gone with the idea of only having one album from any one band or artist, which was really difficult because the higher up this list you go, the more problematic that was. It's a bit like choosing between your children, so there are some notable absentees, and I've also exempted particular subgenres and some bands as well. So there's no place for Thin Lizzy there. I see this band as an Irish band, not as a British band, so I haven't included them, although that would be very high up the list. I haven't included punk because I've done videos on that previously, but this again would be high up that list. I haven't included pub rock because I've done a video on that before, and this would also feature pretty well in that list. These two albums, as good as they are, a bit too fusiony for this list. So Jeff Beck Wired and Brand X, that's Phil Collins's sort of Genesis side project, Unorthodox Behaviour. Good albums, but a bit too fusiony for this list. These next four are a little bit too proggy for this list. So the Yes album, Green by Steve Hillage, some of which I've shown in previous videos about guitar solos in prog songs. That's a tremendous album from Genesis. And of course Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. So I'm not including those today. This one, a bit too weird for me, Sensational Alex Harvey Band. A good band, interesting band, but very difficult to kind of place. And I'm denied about including this fella because this is his rockiest album. And I think one of the criteria for making it into this list is, does the album have lots of riffs? And if it does, it's probably in. And this album does have a fair few riffs. You know, it has Width of a Circle, Black Country Rock, She Shook Me Cold, Man Who Sold the World, but I haven't included David Bowie in this list. So who is in the list? Right, let's crack on with it, because there's 40 albums here. Second album from Trapeze, a three-piece from the Midlands, Medusa. This is the band that included Mel Galley, who went on to Whitesnake, Dave Holland, who went on to Judas Priest and Prison, and Glenn Hughes, who went on to Deep Purple in 1973. Second album, and it's got some really kind of nice, almost soulful, occasionally funky little rock song. Good album. Next album, I couldn't find. It's somewhere in this room, but I can't find it, so I'm going to have to show another album by them. The album is called Smoking. The band is called Humble Pie, Steve Marriott's band, and it's the album that features the song 30 Days in the Hole. It's a really good kind of riffy hard rock album, so that's at number whatever that was, 38. At 37, I've got to include this band, I suppose, although I blow hot and cold with this band, and the reason for that is I just don't like Brian May's guitar sound. I know it's his unique sound and it's a unique guitar that he built himself, but I just don't like his guitar work that much. This for me is probably their heaviest album. Great King Rat, Keep Yourself Alive. Modern Times Rock and Roll, which I think is sung by Roger Taylor, is one of their heaviest songs. So that's made the list. At 37, I think this is 37, yeah, 37, gone with Kitsch by Heavy Metal Kids. This is the band that features a guy called Gary Holton, who was probably more well known for being an actor. He was in that great series Auf Wiedersehen Pet from the kind of late 70s. But this is a good kind of bridge between glam and punk. She's No Angel is a good example of that, Squalor Inn. So there's some decent songs on that particular album. Next up, I suppose I had to include something by this band, and this album, The Slider, has got some reasonably good riffy songs on it. It's got a load of acoustic numbers as well, which I'm less keen on. I saw T-Rex as, and this may well irritate a few T-Rex fans, but I saw them as a singles band, if I'm honest. And for me, the highlights of this album, by a long way, are Telegram Sam, and my favourite T-Rex song, which is Metal Guru. At number 35, debut album from Saxon. A band trying to find their sound. It isn't bad. It's nowhere near as good as Wheels of Steel, which followed this. But, you know, Big Teaser, Judgment Day, Stallions of the Highway, you know, quite new wave of British heavy metal. At number 34, I've gone with Expect No Mercy from Nazareth. Is it their best album? Not sure. It's my favourite one, and these are my favourite albums. And this was a nostalgic pick, I guess, but Expect No Mercy, the title track, is great. Gone Dead Train is fantastic. In fact, side one is a really good kind of rocking side. Side two, less so. Busted, for example, is a bit of a slow blues. So, good album from Nazareth. At number 33, gone with All Together Now by Argent, which features their absolutely brilliant Hold Your Head Up. But also, I do like Tragedy, Be My Lover, Be My Friend, and the much longer Pure Love. I do like that as well. It's quite proggy in places, but good album. At number 32, a nod is a nod to As Good as a Wink, as a blind horse, to a blind horse. This is The Faces. Got to include this album because it's just riff-tastic, this album. Stay With Me, Miss Judy's Farm, Memphis, some great songs on there, obviously featuring Rod Stewart. At number 31, gone with Bloodwind Pig, and getting to this, See My Day on this album is just tremendous. I featured that particular song on my blues rock video, but that's a great album from Bloodwind Pig. Now, talk about T-Rex being a singles band. I think this band are a bit as well, if I'm really honest. Slade, I do like them though. I saw them live at Reading in 1980. They replaced Blizzard of Oz, and I was a bit late getting to the stage. It was about a song and a half in, but they were absolutely brilliant. And they played lots of their hits that day. And there are two songs on here that really do overshadow for me the rest of the album because they're well known to me. Goodbye to Jane and Mama Are All Crazy Now. But there are some really good rockers and some really great riffing songs on that album. At number 29, Back on the Streets by Gary Moore. He was in Colosseum too, around about the same time. He was a great fusion player as well as obviously a rock player as well. And there are some jazz fusion moments on here, which I didn't get at the time, but I do now. But the rock songs in here, Back on the Streets, Don't Believe a Word, the slowed down version of the Thin Lizzy song, Fanatical Fascists, and of course Parisian Walkways, which features Phil Lynott. Tremendous album. At number 28, gone with Chicken Shack. And this is their album, Imagination Lady, which is a great blues album. It features the guitar talents of Stan Webb. It's a really, really good album. Crime Won't Help You Now is a fantastic blues rock song. And that's from about 1971-ish, something like that. At number 27, this is a band I blow hot and cold with, if I'm really honest. They're not very rocky. And it's Free, Fire and Water. Now, I do think that Paul Rodgers elevates this band to another level, although I do think the musicians in this band are really good, especially Paul Kossoff, who's got an amazing touch and feel. They are a band that were very overshadowed, I think, by All Right Now, which is on this album. But Fire and Water, Mr. Big, some good songs. Just a little bit dreary sometimes, but anyway. Next band are probably a little bit proggy. In fact, they are quite difficult to pigeonhole, if I'm honest. This is their rockiest, riffiest album. It's the debut album from Bebop Deluxe, Axe Victim, which I really, really enjoy. It's one of my favourite albums by them, if not my favourite one beyond Sunburst Finish. But this is Jet Silver and the, is it the Dove of Venus? I can't remember now. That's a great song. Love is Swift Arrows. And of course, it's got the Dolls of Venus, isn't it? The Dolls of Venus, not the Doves of Venus. And it's got also Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape, which is a tremendous song. Better live, but I'm not including live albums today. But that's a good riffy album from Bebop Deluxe. At number 25, Pink Fairies, Kings of Oblivion. Larry Wallace is the kind of lead guy in this band. He went on to be in the original version of Motorhead, although didn't record much with them. But the opening track, City Kids, actually is a B-side of the first Motorhead single, which is Motorhead. But this is a great riffy album, a good sort of heavy album, in fact, Raceway, tremendous stuff. At number 24, gone with Brain Capers by Mott the Hoople. I nearly went with Mad Shadows because it has in Thunderbuck Ram one of my favourite songs, but this is probably more consistent than that album, and it is pretty rocky as well. Sweet Angeline, Death May Be Your Santa Claus, which is tremendous, and I love The Journey as well, which is about 8.5 minutes long, but great album. It's about their third album or so, fourth album. At number 23, showed this before, but it's a great rock album. This is the Groundhogs, so British blues rock album. The first side is Split, part 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 2 is tremendous. Cherry Red's really good. Groundhog, good stuff. That's the Groundhogs and Split. At number 22, gone with the debut from a band called Warhorse. This is a Vertigo Swirl album, which makes it incredibly expensive, but a really good album. It features Nick Simper, who was in the original form of Deep Purple, and this is very Deep Purple-like, very heavy Hammond, really good bass work from Nick Simper. Great album. At number 21, this is a band who probably are renowned for their singles, but are a great hard rock band. And did some really good albums, and choosing the best one was quite hard, but in the end I went with this one, Sweet Fanny Adams by The Sweet, or Sweet. Set Me Free, No You Don't, which is tremendous, Rebel Rouser, Sweet FA. Oh, it's just a really, really good hard rock album. This was a band who, again, were overshadowed by Ballroom Blitz, Teenage Rampage, which are brilliant songs, but behind that was a really good hard rock band, and that's at number 21. At number 20, I have to include this album somewhere. It is a really good album. I think I'm just a little bit tired of hearing some of the songs on here. Barbara O'Reilly, Won't Get Fooled Again, Behind Blue Eyes, but they are tremendous songs. Song Is Over, some really good tunes on that album. That is a great album, and that's at number 20. At number 19, today, this is my favourite Hawkwind album. That varies quite a lot because I think there's a period where they're quite consistent. This is Hall of the Mountain Grill, which I think is the last album to include Lemmy in the lineup, and I think it's their best album. At number 18, gone with Stained Class by Judas Priest. Saw them on this tour, or just after, in '78. This is a great album. Exciter, Better By You, Better Than Me, which is a Spooky Tooth song, Invader, and of course Beyond the Realms of Death, which is one of their classic songs. So that's Judas Priest. At number 17, Motorhead, Overkill. And have they done better albums? Possibly. Have they done better songs than Overkill? No, I don't think they have. That for me is one of the greatest metal songs ever made, with its kind of false endings and its brilliant guitar. This is tremendous. Damage Case is also brilliant as well, but great album from Motorhead. Their second. At number 16, had to include this album because if having riffs is a prerequisite for getting into this list, then this has to feature somewhere. Possibly it should have been a bit higher, but Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. It has a couple of my favourite Rolling Stones song in Rocks Off. It has one of my, if not my favourite Rolling Stones song. At number 15, gone with, I think this is the debut from Whitesnake, Trouble from 1978, when they were kind of more of a blues rock rather than hair metal band. But Take Me With You, Love to Keep You Warm, Lie Down, good instrumental, Belgian Tom's Hat Trick, Don't Mess With Me, Time Is Right for Love. It's a really good album. Really enjoy that lineup of the band. Number 14, Straight Shooter by Bad Company. So Paul Rodgers left Free and went down a kind of AOR route alongside Mott the Hooples, Mick Ralphs. Some really good musicians in this band, some really good songs on this album. Their debut's good as well. I think this just edges it. Good Loving Gone Bad, Feel Like Making Love, Shooting Star, Deal With the Preacher, Wildfire Woman. Some really good rocking songs on that. Love it. Next up at number 13 is the debut album from Stray, worth putting in for two songs, In Reverse some say, and All in Your Mind, two longish songs with some absolutely sensational bluesy psychedelic guitar. Really, really good. Den Bromman on the guitar, fantastic. Derek Bromman. At number 12, I think it's 12, gone with another blues rock album, 10 Years After, Cricklewood Green. This is a tremendous album. The guitar work from Alvin Lee is just brilliant. 50,000 Miles Beneath My Brain is just brilliant. Love Like a Man, Sugar the Road, some really good blues rock songs on there. Absolutely fantastic 70s rock album. At number 11, just outside the top 10, which kind of surprises me because this is a great album. This is Look at Yourself by Uriah Heep. It does have in the title track one of the best rock songs of all time, I think. I think it's just brilliant. But Shadows of Grief is also classic. Love Machine, July Morning, really, really good album. I think their best album. Just edges Demons and Wizards for me. At number 10, Robin Trower. This is his masterpiece, Bridge of Sighs. Absolutely brilliant. Day of the Eagle, Bridge of Sighs, The Fallen Me, two Rolling Stones. Tremendous album. At number 9, gone with I can't decide between these two albums. I've gone with Budgie, Welsh band Budgie. This is the heaviest of the album, In for the Kill, but I think this is Never Turn Your Back on a Friend is the better of the two albums. So this has got Bread Fan, Baby Please Don't Go, their version of the Them song, You're the Best Thing Since Powdered Milk, biggest thing since Powdered Milk, which is a tremendous kind of unusual title that Budgie often had. In the Grip of a Tire Fitter's Hand, which is another one. But in Parents, wow, what an epic song Parents is. And that's Budgie featuring, as they often did, brilliant Roger Dean covers. At number 8, Obsession by UFO. It was quite hard to choose an album by this band, but this is my favourite. Again, could be a nostalgic pick because this was the first UFO album I bought. The last one to feature Michael Schenker, but Only You Can Rock Me, Pack It Up and Go, You Don't Fool Me, Cherry, Hot and Ready. Tremendous album. The guitar work, his guitar tone is just brilliant. At number 7, this is my favourite choir album. I just think it's brilliant. I saw them. This is the first ever concert I went to in 1974, age 11. And I didn't go to a concert for about another 3-4 years after this, but this was the first one. This was the album. This for me is quintessential Quo, Backwater, Just Take Me, Break the Rules, Drifting Away, and their best ever song, Slow Train. Brilliant. At number 6, Argos by Wishbone Ash. Oh, this is a masterpiece, and all these albums are brilliant now. Time Was, Blowing Free, The King Will Come, I Love Leaf and Stream, Warrior, Throw Down the Sword. Every single song on this album pretty much is brilliant. Just tremendous twin guitar, great songwriting. Vocals let it down slightly, a bit weak, but it's a great album. At number 5, and this is a 1979 album. This is Mr. Universe by Gillan. So he had done a couple of kind of jazz rocky albums and then went metal again. And wow, this album is fantastic. Secret of the Dance, which is new wave of British heavy metal. It really is. It's tremendous. She Tears Me Down, Roller, Mr. Universe with some just brilliant guitar in it from Bernie Torme. Also has, I think, one of the best vocal performances from Ian Gillan, and that's Fighting Man, which is just... It's the song that closes the album. Is it the best song he's ever sung on? Or the best singing he's ever done? Yeah, possibly is. And there's some serious contenders for that. Okay, at number 4, again, like choosing between your children. Could have chosen anything from the first 6 Black Sabbath albums. This one, though, just edges it because of the title track. I think the track Black Sabbath is their best song. That's my favourite song. This is just brilliant. It has an Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation song, Warning, which is just a kind of a guitar workout. But Evil Woman, Don't You Play Your Games With Me, which is a cover of I can't remember the name of the band offhand. They're an American band. It's a cover of that. But The Wizard, NIB, yeah, it's just a brilliant, brilliant album that defined a genre. It's amazing. At number 3, got to include this album somewhere. Now, 1970s could have had Physical Graffiti, but you can't ignore an album that has Black Dog, it has When the Levee Breaks, it has Rock and Roll, and of course it has Stairway to Heaven. Yes, am I tired of hearing those songs? Of course I am, but this album is just, wow. At number 2, this is like choosing between your children. So I've got 3 albums by one band here, and so Machine Head, Burn, and In Rock. Now, it's really hard to choose. This is the Mark III, features one of my favourite songs by Deep Purple, Burn, and also one of my other favourite songs by them, Sail Away. It's very different to the previous Deep Purple stuff, and it is absolutely brilliant. This, of course, is seen as their masterpiece with Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, Pictures of Home, Lazy, Space Trucking. Yeah, why am I choosing that? Today, and tomorrow will be different, but today, this is my second favourite album from the 1970s, British rock album, In Rock. This was, yeah, we can talk about Sabbath, we can talk about Led Zeppelin being, massive in British rock music. Were they as influential as Deep Purple? More bands sound like Deep Purple than they ever sound like Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. This is just a brilliant album. Speaking, the opening crescendo that song produces is just incredible. Child in Time, wow. Flight of the Rat is brilliant. Hard Loving Man, I mean, just incendiary guitar work on that. It's just brilliant, and that's my second favourite British rock album. So what's my favourite one? Wow, I bet people were thinking they were going to be top. Well, they're not, but the guitar player from that band is in my top. And my top album from the 1970s, rock album, is this one. I think this is absolutely sensational. It's as close to a perfect album as I think exists. I think this Rainbow Rising, the second album from Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, is just a masterpiece. From the opening song, Tarot Woman, yeah, Do You Close Your Eyes is a bit more throwaway, and if that had been replaced by something else, a bit better, this would be perfect. Run with the Wolves, Starstruck, and on side 2 you have a perfect side of vinyl, Stargazer, and my favourite Rainbow song, Light in the Black. There's my favourite 1970s British rock albums. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'm sure I'll be back sometime soon with another video. Cheers.